Welcome back to the Central Sports Pod. Today, we've got a plethora of things we're talking about. We're going to be talking about the Wildcard weekend for the NFL. Talking about the coaching carousel, who's gonna go where, and some more developments that have happened since last weekend. Some breaking news as of today. Then we'll be talking about the divisional round and previewing those 4 games and who we think might win. And then we're going to finish up with some NBA combined with a hot take. All right, let's start Wildcard recap. Let's go in chronological order. Panthers-Rams. What do you think of that game?
I think it shows the one weakness in the Rams. I think that's their secondary. Their defense looked really bad the entire game. Obviously, if you have some guys going out there and, Panthers were able to score over 30 points, that's an issue. No team should score over 30 points against your defense in the playoffs, regardless of seeding at all. So I think that's going to be the one issue in the Rams in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And I do think that they will, beat the
Bears.
I do think they will beat the Bears, but it's going to come down to their defense. If the offense can get the ball rolling, like they can usually do, I think it'll come out on a win. But yeah.
And I thought that the Rams got lucky on that last drive because those were bad play calls. Those were bad throws by Bryce Young, bad decisions. I thought they completely lucked out. I was watching the momentum. It looked like the Panthers were going to go down and score. Yeah. I thought that the play calling was really horrible too. Mm-hmm. The outs, not running anybody deep, not going any slants. I thought the play calling was terrible, and it really saved the Rams.
Yeah, I think that the Rams really did luck out there. I think it could have totally gone the other way.
It looked like it was going to go the other way.
Yeah, looked like it was going to go the other way, but I think we obviously saw Matthew Stafford had a good game. Mm-hmm. I think we can agree on that, but are we going to be able to give him a high level of praise if the other side of the ball, if his defense can't do anything? That's the issue. I feel like
you can praise the quarterback, but you can't praise the team as much.
Yeah, but I think that the close end of the game takes away from the fact that he had a good game.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. And I think kind of looking at the Panthers side of it, which obviously can't really talk much more about them because they are getting out of playoffs now, but I think it really showed that this team is a threat. Like, they're legit. They have looked kind of weird this season. They've had some great losses and really great wins, weird losses as well. And I think that it really shows that Bryce Young, I don't think he's a good a first overall pick, but I think he's definitely a startable, solid QB. And I think if you can just build more around him and develop him, I think he will be good eventually.
Yeah. I love what I saw from Bryce Young over this entire season, especially that last game against the Rams. But I do think that he is getting a little more praise than he deserves. Mm-hmm. There are still 25 quarterbacks, at least 20 quarterbacks who are better than him.
I'd say he's middle of the road. I don't know about 20 quarterbacks better than him.
I think I can go with 20, but...
I mean, he had the worst passer rating this season, correct? Or 30th?
If you can lead your team to some wins, I mean, it really counts for a lot.
Basically, he's bottom 12 in every single major stat, so I think that opens up the questions. The question is, there 20 better quarterbacks than him. So
we can talk about it later. Okay, Bears-Packers. Ethan, you want to lead us on that?
I think the main issue is the coaching. If as a offensive coordinator and a head coach and a defensive coordinator, really the entire box up there controlling the game and the people on the sideline, if you can't keep a 20-point lead at halftime, that raises big concerns. I mean, are you going to be able to go and compete next year? Because if you're at the highest point of your entire season and you fail to succeed, you fail to get the win, what's going to happen next season,
Yeah, and I mean, people can say all they want, Mike Parsons didn't play, Mike Parsons injured. But is Micah Parsons your entire defense in the last quarter of a game? No. You shouldn't be able to give up
not in the last...
Look at all their injuries.
Look at all the injuries. Tucker Kraft, I'm pretty sure Edrin Cooper was out for a couple weeks. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs.
What I'm getting more into is, during that last quarter of the game, their defense was just... The Bears could march down the field, and nothing was stopping them.
Yeah, because I think we have to realize how much a pass rusher matters on a defense, especially at the high level that he is. I think he is one of the greatest in the league right now. Obviously, Myles Garrett broke the record, so I don't think we can say that Micah Parsons is the best pass rusher in the league. But still, it really matters a lot if you have that guy out there on the field. The Packers were, 0-6 to end off the season going into playoffs? That's terrible.
0-7 after playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, moving on to Jags-Bills. That was the next game. Personally, I think Bills are going to Super Bowl, and I think that game established that when the pressure is put on, they deliver. Like, yeah, it might be a close game, but they get the win. That's just my take from it.
I agree with that. I like the look of their offense. I like the look of their defense. I'm all in on the Bills this year.
Yeah. I think that the Bills, they have one of the just best looking teams right now. Mm-hmm. And I think the quarterback position matters the most, obviously. That's your game manager. That's the guy who's going to go out there and lead you to a victory. And if you want to succeed, you need the quarterback to strive on that offense, you know? I think that another example of that, where it can actually be different if the defense is bad, I think that's the Packers. Jordan Love, 4 passing touchdowns, tied for the most at Soldier Field, actually, in playoff history.
I think a lot of people are underrating the game that Jordan Love had.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the fourth quarter, he looked great.
And just to say something real quick to tie back to that, but, I mean, we won't stick on it. Does having a loss take away from your greatness? I want to keep bringing up that because obviously the Rams did win, but still, that close of a game is almost like a loss to me at the end of the day.
The one thing I'll say about the Bills is I do not like their receiver core.
Yeah,
I love Khalil Shakir, but otherwise
I do think that they have a very quiet receiving core, but sometimes that doesn't matter. If you have 4 guys who can go out there and catch the ball, I mean, that's all that matters.
And I mean, Josh Allen's going to make the throws if they're open. He's going to be able to get out of the pocket and, get some rushing yards. And so he's going to put enough pressure just being Josh Allen to where if things are going to open up, they're going to have a rush game. They're going to have a pass game no matter who's at wide receiver, right?
Yeah, I mean, if Khalil Shakir is your wide receiver 1 and you're that good, Josh Allen, I think that really says a lot about his game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think moving on to the Jaguars side of that game, I don't understand it a ton because I think Jaguars are a team that's I feel like they're almost oversaturated in a way.
I almost thought they were going to win.
Yeah, but I think they're overhyped
down the field.
in my opinion.
I think they are overhyped.
But I think Liam Cohen, in my opinion, he probably should be coach of the year. Yeah. I think he has revitalized that program so much and actually given life to Trevor Lawrence instead of Doug Pearson just holding back kind of more that
I remember last week you said that Ben Johnson would be coach of the year, so you changed your mind on that now?
I saw a Jaguars game over that time, and I personally think Liam Cohen was better. I think Ben Johnson was more so got lucky with the Matt LaFleur coaching. It wasn't great.
I got to disagree.
I just switching up on your word, especially after a big playoff game like that, is interesting, but I can't see why Liam Cohen would be someone's favorite for Coach of the Year as well. So
it's really close for me. I think
a lot of great coaches this year. Yeah. I feel like we've seen a lot of
great coaches and a lot of low coaches.
Yes.
I think, and then so let's move on to the next game, which is Eagles 49ers.
Yeah, the Eagles when your star player is going to go out there and throw a tantrum and not wanting to perform to the best of their ability, that's going to really cause an issue. AJ Brown.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, I mean. We can look at, the 49ers played well. The 49ers, Brock Purdy looked good. But, I mean, did they luck out? Did they earn this win? Or did
I think they 100% earned this win.
They did completely, yeah.
And if it were luck, I think, are you trying to say that because of all their injuries, they just happened to get lucky? I think that even makes them earn the win even more if they're missing all these pieces, especially George Kittle, who went out in that first half, as we know.
I mean, I think Jalen Hurts also played terrible, though.
I think that it's maybe you want to give one more year for the Eagles to try to keep contending, but I think that you almost need a culture change. I didn't like what I saw in the playoffs. Obviously, they won the Super Bowl last year. Only one team did, so that's amazing. They're obviously a good team, but if you're going to win the Super Bowl and lose round 1 next year with basically the same roster, I don't know.
I mean, they had some defensive changes.
This is kind of what we saw 2 or 3 years ago with them. They went to the Super Bowl, close Super Bowl, and then they lost next year round 1 to a team that was not necessarily favored in the game.
I want to say that I think Nick Sirianni needs to get out of there immediately. If I were the owner of the team, I want him gone now because if you are spending that much money on big names like Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, even Dallas Goedert, as well as some of your offensive line, and a couple defensive guys, and you're struggling to go out there and have your coach just manage the game, to his best ability,
I mean, what
that's
do we
an
think
issue.
about them
kinda
firing their offensive coordinator for the
Yes, I was about
5 years in a row that they've had to get a new one?
Well, a lot of those is because they've done so well. They've gotten a head coaching judge. But I'm just going to pause in this coaching conversation because we're going to talk about it later and maybe focus on the 49ers because I feel like they did win the game. We should probably give them their flowers.
Yeah, I would agree. They won the game, moving on to the next round, going against the Seahawks. So we'll see what happens there.
We'll talk about it later. But I think they're a threat. Don't get me wrong. And I think Brock Purdy, he's really like this year. I feel like he's gotten in.
Brock Purdy.
He's just he's him.
I know. A couple weeks back, I said something about Brock Purdy not being the greatest in the league, and I still agree that he's not the greatest in the league. But he's a good quarterback.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
and I mean, look at Mac Jones too.
I know
he helped them this year.
I got
God forbid a white boy get a little emotion.
Yeah, I got some flack for saying that earlier, being like, "Oh, we're just talking about vibes now." Vibes matter. If you're not in the right headspace and you're not having fun playing football, you're not going to do well. And it's clear.
I like that. I like that.
Hasn't played just having fun.
I like that, but we've seen Jackson Dart all year, and that's a little bit of a different story.
A bad system is different.
But when you see someone in a good system vibing out, JJ McCarthy flipped their season around after he got the ability to go out there. No, 9 wins. He took them to 9 wins.
Yeah, but that's a bit controversial. Okay.
How? Seriously.
JJ McCarthy was not why they won. It was their defense. We can talk about that.
It was their defense, but JJ McCarthy was definitely a factor to it.
Yeah, 9. Okay.
I mean, you can't just discount.
Patriots Chargers. Patriots Chargers. This was probably our biggest hot take. We did say we thought the Chargers might
boring game.
You said you thought the Chargers.
I believe Sam agreed with me. Sam did agree with me. Sam did agree with me. I know.
Hey, we have the receipts on the Instagram.
Sam had the Chargers going to the AFC Championship game. I never had that.
That's.
Yes, you did.
Okay, maybe he actually did have that.
Yeah.
I don't really know why we thought that the Patriots were going to lose here. They were contending for a 1 seed also, so.
It was a snooze fest of a game, gonna be honest.
Drake May didn't really have the greatest game, though, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't really
had a fun
need
game,
to, though.
Yeah, just kind of a game. I mean, Patriots are gonna be a threat, but I don't know how much of a threat they are.
I mean,
and Chargers.
We can look at this game. We can see the Patriots were good. Chargers were all right.
Chargers are so injured, though.
This was one of the greatest wild card weekends that I've ever watched. I don't know about history because I've only watched so many, but I do think that this is going to paint the picture for what happens next.
Yeah.
Especially not just this playoff round, but years to come. I think that it's going to show what teams are going to succeed, what teams are going to fall off. I don't think the Panthers are going to find much success in years to come. But
right now I see a big wave of a bunch of young quarterbacks that are on the come up, but I don't think this is their year. I don't think the Bears will win. I don't think the Patriots will win. I don't think the Broncos will win. 3 teams with young quarterbacks that are on the upcoming and will be good for years to come. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think their time is now.
I think. But before we move on, we have one more game: Steelers Texans.
Aaron Rodgers, I mean, Charlie Kirk had an amazing game, to be honest with you.
He had like 150 yards, something like that, right?
Yeah,
144.
No one was expecting
Charlie King was just on fire. It was so fun to watch.
It was.
I don't know. It's fun to watch a player have a good game.
It's fun because if you're going to go out there, I think the Texans. That was really just the most dominant game.
Yeah. Like a half, it was just like suppression.
Well,
try to
be honest with you, that first drive of the Steelers, I was like, dude, they might win this game.
But in the second half, the Texans were like, okay, we'll try now. We had to kind of taking it easy, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the defense stepped up. CK stepped up.
Again.
The big man Tutty, the pick six. It was just a fun game. I mean, didn't really have a horse in the fight. I mean, I like the Texans, but it's just fun. I will say the one thing that's just really sad was Aaron Rodgers.
I think that there was something poetic about Aaron Rodgers throwing a pick six on probably his last play of his career.
Last touchdown of his career.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers to A-Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he deserves his flowers, like Ted would say.
Yeah. I just think.
Hey, let's give him his flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he clapped up right, Rod. He's had a good year, a good career, and let's just let him retire, go to the darkness retreat and stay.
I see you in Cancun.
Before we move on to coaches, I do want to say I really wish A-Rod would come back one year.
It'd be fun, but I just don't think it'll happen.
I really think that it could happen even as a backup for a contending team. if he's just back there, you know,
Vikings,
49ers potentially, like
I think Vikings.
I think Vikings will be his destination, but I would like to see him go to something like the 49ers.
Yeah.
Just be that backup quarterback for a quarterback who kind of struggles with injuries like Brock Purdy. So we saw Mac Jones do that this year. Could A-Rod do it somewhere else?
I don't know. I just don't think he wants to be a full backup. If anything, he's going to be a mentorship position, not a backup.
Yeah, like we kind of saw with Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith.
Okay, moving on. The coaching carousel it's getting crazy. I would say it's not a kid's ride anymore. It's a thrill ride, you know.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you.
Great
9
analogy,
teams.
Ted. Great analogy.
Thank you. You can give me my flowers later. Now, 9 teams do not have a head coach right now, and the most recent fires was Mike Tomlin, which
I don't think that was a fire, was it? That was a step down.
It was a step down, but
that's not a fire.
It wasn't fire, but it was a
I don't think that
opening.
the Steelers organization wanted to see him step down, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I mean, I think if your Steelers organization, you didn't want him to like fire him because you were scared to, but also like kind of knew that change needed to happen. It was just like, when do we do it? And I think because you're going to have to get a new quarterback next year, might as well bring in a new coach with it and just try to get a little connection there.
A lot of teams have not had a Super Bowl win in a long time, let alone a playoff win. About a decade and a half ago, Mike Tomlin won the Super Bowl, but that's really the last action you've had in a long time as a Steelers fan.
He kind of needed to step down.
Yeah. I love what he did, 19 years, no losing record. I think we have to appreciate him more as a coach. I think he's one of the greatest of all time to just be able to work with what he has, not a bunch of stars, but to work with what he has and make a team good.
Yeah.
100%.
And then some other stuff is, will Sirianni leave? I think if I'm Philly, you don't kick out Sirianni, but you change the team. You trade A.J. Brown, you get in some new weapons, and you just try to spice it up because you've seen Sirianni play well coach well, not play well. You know what I mean.
We know what you mean.
You need to just kind of revitalize the organization because they've stagnated in the success. Like they're always a really good team, so they've just kind of like they're just not that great anymore. If you know.
Yeah, I don't. I really think Sirianni should leave.
But will he?
Or get fired. But
I don't think he will.
I don't think
I think he's got too many.
He's got too many success. Yeah,
people.
Too many good seasons.
I mean, he won the Super Bowl a year ago, so I think
fire him.
That's just going so under the radar. I don't think they should fire
We
him.
had these same questions at the start of last year when like the Cleveland Browns and him yelling at fans and all that stuff. Yeah. And he comes back. I just think he's a really weird coach almost.
Yeah.
Can we maybe make the argument that A.J. Brown is holding the Eagles team and Sirianni back, especially Sirianni as coach?
Kinda.
Because we've seen Sirianni a couple weeks ago yell at A.J. Brown after a game when they won in that close matchup. He was like, "Who's talking now at him? That's your player. Why are you like trash talking your player?" You know. I think that if you get A.J. Brown out of there, you try to switch some things up. Maybe find a couple more guys to replace his presence in the locker room and on the field. I think. I
don't know if we need to replace the presence in the locker room.
I mean,
I'm saying replace it. You don't want A.J. Brown's.
Yeah. Oh,
not gonna say. Just get refresh it.
Refresh
I think it's Devontae Smith's turn to show how good he is.
Yeah. Most
or maybe
underrated.
Get a young guy and Devontae Smith can be the wide receiver 1. You get like a rookie in there to go wide receiver 2, maybe become a wide receiver 1.
But I think Devontae Smith
kind of like what T. Higgins has done.
Yeah, almost like I was just thinking JSN behind DK. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But and moving on, the big news looks like John Harbaugh is going to the Giants. I love it.
Amazing hire.
I like it for the Giants a lot.
The culture in New York is not appreciated enough because you're coaching for a team in the biggest city in the entire United States. That's a big deal. You've got millions of people watching your games, but you need to make sure that team can be good soon. They don't want to see their team keep losing. You need to make a change quick. You can't sit in that office for 5 years trying to make a change. I think that they want their team to win now because they have the weapons too. They have Malik Neighbors. They got
Cam Scatterboo,
Jackson Dart, and
Jackson Dart,
D lineman, 95.
You've got
Abdul Carter, yes,
and you've got Brian Burns
and Dexter Lawrence.
They have such a fun team almost. It's just their systems and so just terrible.
Yeah.
That I really like seeing such a qualified and good head coach as John Harbaugh coming in and trying to fix that system because I think they have the pieces to win, and I think they're going to be next year's Patriots.
And I think I want to see them.
I think that's
John Harbaugh grow them as a team, mature Jackson Dart, and develop their wide receiver core because Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, has been a great wide receiver that has flown under the radar and just hasn't got, the targets that he deserves, I think.
I mean, I think he did at the end of this year, but I mean, it helps that Malik Neighbors got injured.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
I think Sam was meaning when Malik Neighbors is healthy. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Divisional round. We're going to do a minute per game. We each are leading the game, okay? Brant, you want to start with Bears-Rams?
Yes, I think that the Bears are going to come out on top. I think that this showed by their offense last week and how the ability, even though Caleb Williams did not have his best game, to fight back. And I think their defense was not the best, but, I mean, they really showed that they can lock in when they need to. And I think the Rams, after seeing last week against the Panthers, was just not the performance that they needed. I mean, their offense obviously played very good, but the defensive side of the ball is a lot of work needed on it.
It's interesting opinion on the game.
Yeah. I
think I disagree, but it's okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I love playoff Matt Staff, but I could really see this going the other way.
I mean, I think the Rams probably have a little bit of a stronger team. I just don't know.
I think Iceman's too good.
All right. Staying on the NFC side, Seahawks, Niners. All right. This game is going to be establishment of the Legion of Boom #2. I think this is going to establish that this Seahawks team is legit. This defense, I think, is going to have an insane game. I think they had an insane game last time we played the 49ers. We really stopped their entire offense. We held them 3-6 points, something like that. And I think this is going to establish us as a threat and as a Super Bowl contender, because I know there's a lot of doubts about the Seahawks. And I think this game is going to evaporate those doubts, and Seahawks win by 2 scores.
I have to disagree.
I'm disagreeing.
Okay. Shocker, the Iowa State fan disagrees.
I don't know. We saw them play them a couple weeks ago. They won, Seahawks, of course. But we haven't seen them in the playoffs yet. We haven't actually seen them in the playoffs for a couple years now. So I'm just going to have to see how this coaching staff can elevate their guys to play at the level they need to beat such a powerful team like the 49ers.
I just want to say,
I think a lot of this,
if you've ever seen Sam Darnold in the playoffs, you know how bad he is.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. A lot of this is once. Sam Darnold.
Once
one game in a different system in my opinion, does not paint the picture.
I think that it's too small to paint a realistic picture, but I do think it's a little, let's just say, a preview.
All right. All right. Ethan, do you want to move on with
Texans?
Texans.
Yeah, so Texans versus the Patriots. I don't think it's going to be the most exciting game on offense.
Yeah.
It's probably two of the most.
Charlie Kirk big game.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk. I mean, I don't think we'll see enough from him this time.
Higgins.
Jaden Higgins is pretty good.
I think that it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think the over/under is 30.5 or 40, something like that.
It could go under easily.
I think it could go under. I think it could go over. It's both ways, but the Texans are not favored to win. I just think their offense is going to be a lack. They're going to be lacking there because the defense scored 2 of their touchdowns last week. So I think that was one of their best defensive games of the entire year. But will it happen again against a better team? Who knows?
All right, Sam, last game of the weekend.
Bills Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I trust playoff Josh Allen, and I do believe that a lot of this depends on the Bills and the Bills D line on if they can hold Bo Nix from getting to his places, getting outside the pocket, completing passes. I think if they can just hold him and keep him contained and apply pressure, I think that this game will go to the Bills. And I think it could realistically end up being a 23-13 game, but it truly could go either way. So
I think that the Broncos are another scenario of a good quarterback with a weaker wide receiver core.
And I think
I like Cortland Sutton, though. He's good.
I think this game is almost similar to the Seahawks 49ers team or 49ers game, but I think the difference is that Josh Allen is an established, very good quarterback, and Brock Purdy is a little shakier, and that's why I think Josh Allen is going to lead the Bills to a win, and that's why I don't think Brock Purdy's going to win.
I mean, all I'll say is Brock Purdy's been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and lost Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean.
All right.
Not a lot of quarterbacks have made it there though. So
So NBA.
Yeah. So it's mid-season. Almost the All-Star break. All-Star votes for the starters are actually done, so you guys have probably seen that, but it makes sense who's in that top 10.
Yeah.
100%.
Thankful to see Cade in there, but when we're, looking at teams, who's going to actually be competing this year, who's going to be tanking to get into that top, 14.
Yeah. I mean, this is a great draft class.
Draft class is
Kinda
insane.
I think it makes perfect sense who's going to try to lose this season, though. Not necessarily lose, but just make sure they're in that, not in the play-in. Make sure they're in that bottom 14 to secure
Ethan,
a lottery spot.
What do you think a team right now that's kind of trending down is?
Trending down is definitely going to have to be the Lakers. Austin Reeves has really struggled with injuries. He's missed a lot of time. When he goes in, he doesn't perform that well. He's had a couple of good games, but I just think it's going to be an issue with, I think having no LeBron at the beginning of the season was a little bit of a rough start for an organization like that. Luka's going to have to step up. He's going to have to continue to be the, triple-double
game
guy,
changer.
make the game a different pace. I think they're one reason they're not actually performing that well is DeAndre Ayton at their starting five.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been center for the Lakers, pulling them back. And I think the thing with Austin Reeves, about people saying even when he's in, he's not performing as well. I mean, he got off to a really hot start this year, and it's a little bit unreasonable to expect him to hold that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously he might be a little under what he should be, but I think that we will see him get back to that form. And when we're talking about Luka and about how he needs to be able to slow down the offense, get to his shots, control the game at his pace, and do what he needs to do, because that's why he's on the Lakers. That's why people were talking about such a big fleece last year, because he is, a top 2, top 3 player in the league right now.
I would say behind Wemby, he's the face of the league.
I do want to see Dalton Connect get his chance though soon.
I love.
I think
Dalton
that the
Connect
issue is the Lakers are too stuck on the past right now. It almost seems. Other than Luka, they've got an older group of guys. They're not the most reliable when it comes to defense. I think their issue is they're not really wanting to play defense. I don't really think that many people on their starting 5, including their backups, are actually wanting to try to guard the ball, stop the ball, and get the fast break opportunities. I think they're kind of playing more at a slow pace, especially with, an aging LeBron and Luka Doncic, who is notorious for his slow play style. So,
And I mean, when you have, 3 of your starters being Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron, 3 guys who are at this point in their career are just not going to be guys who, you want guarding someone on the game-winning shot. I mean, even DeAndre Ayton's a little weak spot. I do like Jackson Hayes in there, but I mean, I think that if this Lakers team could A, get a better center, and B, get better at defense, I think that they could be maybe not a true contender, but
a little better.
Jackson Hayes is really their only 3-and-D option there to try to guard the ball. But if we're going to talk about a team that's trending up, I think it has to be the Spurs. I think there's no.
Yeah.
I think they did lose last night to the.
They did
Thunder.
lose, but they are 3-1 against the
I would just like to say, I predicted at the start of this podcast, episode 1, I said Spurs were in the championship. I was getting so much hate for it. I didn't think they could win the championship.
I don't think they will.
I don't know.
There's a chance.
It's going to be an interesting rest of this year, because there are 20 teams who are going to try to be competing to get into the playoffs. I think some of those bottom teams shouldn't. I think this is a good draft class you're going to want to get a good pick for, but there still is going to be a lot of competing this year. I think the Spurs do have a chance at it, especially with them trending up. They've won 3 games against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which they are almost a team that has been trending down, but they still don't even have 10 losses yet, so I don't think we can count them out yet.
And I want to say, I think it's going to be one of the best playoffs we've had in years. I mean, even when we're going down the 5th seed, the Sixers, Knicks, Celtics, all really good teams that are people just aren't really talking about too much for that championship, because they're there's the Thunder, there's the Spurs, right? So
I think the thing that is making sports so entertaining this year, and if you really do look at the numbers, I'm sure this is one of the higher years with views, people buying subscriptions.
I think a big thing with NBA is just availability.
And NBC, I wanted to.
I think that the most important factor to this is the storylines that are being created.
Yeah.
I think obviously that these companies are trying to push it more towards an entertainment option and almost kind of taking away from the actual sport aspect. Obviously, they're still playing the sport, but they're definitely focusing on trying to make these games entertaining to the viewer, because 14 lead changes in the 4th quarter definitely isn't just because of how people are playing. I think
it's pretty fun to watch.
I do think that they're trying to make these games more fun to watch and have the storylines that people want to keep track of, because last season I felt myself not really paying attention to the NBA regular season. This year, I think that's changed. There's been a lot of more mix-ups in the standings, better teams that are surprisingly good, like the Celtics, the Pistons.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think another big thing is just availability has allowed these storylines to grow to scale that they just hadn't been able to when it was pretty much just on like ESPN and like maybe occasionally ABC and stuff like that.
And I just want to say I hate NBA League Pass. I don't know why they do it.
Yeah.
Like so even if you buy it, which is ridiculously expensive, you still have blackouts. There aren't a ton of games on it.
Yeah.
I just can't see someone like really buying it who's not gonna watch almost every game of the season.
There should be a way where you can buy different packages of these NBA League Pass, NFL starting a ticket to make it more accessible. And I think before we see that, we're just going to see it grow to more services that people all have, NBA on Prime, things like that, or NFL on Prime.
I think Peacock is really getting the NBA out there more.
I agree.
You're getting 2 or 3 games a night now.
I mean, last year it was terrible. It was so hard to watch a game. I mean, I didn't actually have TNT, so I would have to watch TNT OT, no commentators, straight backboard cam. That wasn't lovely basketball to watch.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm just excited to see what happens in the NBA this year. Hopefully the playoffs are entertaining, and I would love to see a team.
I'm more excited for the draft class this year, honestly.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Brant just likes college players.
I mean, the top 10 is...
college basketball.
The top 10 is the best we've seen in a long time. I mean, maybe not in a long time, because 2021 was really
2019,
good.
both really good draft classes.
I do want to say AJ Debansa is going to be the best player out of this class.
I think he's I think he's the most ready, really, out of everyone.
I think it'd be Bryce James. I think he has legacy,
One person that I don't think is really going to succeed is probably Bennett Sturts. As an Iowa fan, I just don't like what I've been seeing from him. But let's stay away from the college sports. I just don't want to get too drawn into that.
This has been a great episode of Center Sports Pod. And we'll catch you guys next week with a special Q&A episode. See you next time.
See you next time.
Peace.